In the midst of the West Bengal elections, joining us at the moment is Urban Development Minister of West Bengal, also the Mayor of Calcutta, Firhad Hakim. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Mr. Hakim. Now, first things first, I must ask you about this 93% turnout in the first phase of the elections in West Bengal. What do you attribute it to?
I don't
is it
think...
S.I.R.? Is it renewed public interest?
Yes.
What is the reason?
Two things. The deletion was not done since 2002. These left voter and dead voter. It is deleted this year. Secondly, the fear of people. Where the people thinks that if I don't vote, I will be no more an Indian. So the fear of the people brought the people to the voting center. And that is why this is 90. Generally, this in West Bengal, in any election, the polling percentage is 82%. With the deletions of these votes, 10 to 13%, so it is quite normal that it will come on to 92, 93%.
But isn't that then a vindication of the S.I.R. process, which was so contentious? Even
yes,
Mr. Kalyan Banerjee has said good numbers are there, turnout is good for democracy.
The people felt insulted. For hours and hours, they stood in line, in queue, for days and days. For every document, they used to come for next day. And that is an insult for every Indian. It is my identity crisis that I am not an Indian and I have to prove myself. This is an insult for every Indian. And that is faced by the people of Bengal, especially during this logical discrepancy. So the people suffered and they voted for.
But how many people have been, wrongfully cut out in your view? What is your estimation? Because the S.I.R. process has been completed. Do you feel that there are still people who are deserving that
yes,
vote who have been left out?
There is at least 27 lakhs people who are genuine Indian and they should vote. But with the blessings of Election Commission, they are in that process of hearing.
But why did the Supreme Court not stop the process then, if there was such a huge discrepancy?
I think that after the intervention of Supreme Court, the people had the right and still had the hope. Because the adamancy of the Election Commission, she was adamant quite. We went twice, I personally went thrice, and our party represented many times to him. But he was very adamant for that. So we have to approach Supreme Court. And Supreme Court has done to their best. I think that the people will have the right to vote.
Right. Amit Shah, Union Home Minister, says that the BJP will win 110 out of the 152 seats.
That Amit Shah ji also knows. But definitely he cannot say that I am going to lose. Then there will be no worker for their party for this second phase of election. So it is his compulsion that he will say that I will win 100 seats or all the seats. And what the promise they have made, this same type of claim they have made also last election on 24th. So after result, you will see that what is what. But I am definitely that Trinamool has crossed 100 seats. And it is a mathematics. What we have won last on 21st, 20, and the same seats if we get, we crossed 113 seats.
Right. What about the Muslim areas such as Murshidabad, where also the huge turnout has been seen, over 90% seen in those areas?
That is the point I was supposed to tell you, that Amit Shah is over-enthusiastic with it 93%. So what about Murshidabad? Did they voted for BJP with a huge turnout of 9? In some booth there is 99%. So did they voted for BJP? No. So this turnout is there for against BJP and against S.I.R. The BJP has implemented through ECI. So they will face the consequence.
Right. Going into the second phase, if these kind of high turnout numbers are seen in the second phase as well, of course, TMC has the upper hand, one can say, because those are the strongholds of the TMC largely, which the second phase has. But if this high turnout figure continues for the second phase as well, could that spell some trouble for the TMC in your view?
No, I think that there will be over 90% in second phase also. Because I've given you the number that the 10% voter of 13% voter has been already deleted from the list. So the natural, what they have voted for 81% last election, the same voting will prove that it is 93%, over 90%.
Now, I'm asking you this also because BJP has fielded Shuvendu Adhikari against Mamta Banerjee. Last time he defeated her in Nandigram. So can you take it lightly in Bhawanipur?
That is Nandigram and this is Bhawanipur. This is the home turf of Mamta Banerjee, home turf of Firhad Hakim. So you cannot expect that we have grown in this area. We are doing social service for years in this area. As like that, we have not picked for the politics. We came in automatic, we have come to politics after doing social service for years. So the people we will just forget. You come, see and win. That doesn't happen in politics. You have to serve the people. And we serve the people I'm serving the people for the last 50 years. Mamta Banerjee is the same. So this is our area.
What would you say about the fact that relatively violence-free elections have been held this time? If you look at the previous cycles of elections, it has always seen a huge amount of violence. Not a single person, not a single murder, for instance, took place on the polling day. And we've seen what has happened in the past. I don't want to get into the specifics. Is this a vindication of the huge security forces that were deployed in West Bengal? Because your party has been saying this is wrong.
No, I think that actual need and showing the fear to the people are different. You guard the booths, you take the money, law and order, of course you have to maintain. But asking for the Jaguar tanks here in the streets of Calcutta, of the streets of Bengal, it is a Kashmir. You can't send these tanks to Manipur for peace there. And you are sending here that the people will fear. You are not fighting you are not fighting war in Bengal. You are fighting election. So what the use of giving so much of huge Jaguar tanks and so much of force here?
No, but the proof ultimately is the fact that violence did not happen. Unfortunately, not only TMC, but even during left, there was a culture of violence, unfortunately.
Culture of violence is there because of the left, not of TMC. But the thing is that no need of such a huge ammunitions.
How will you ensure violence-free elections then?
No. The Jaguar tank went inside the booth. Why these tanks? Why this military, paramilitary, so much of paramilitary force marching around and there? Where was this force during the Pulwama? Where were these force not sent to Manipur? Why during these elections? There is need of force, but not of so much. It is the people are afraid, you're afraid of BJP. That I am here, I am the king, I am coming here. So the force will march and the people should be afraid of me. It is not that.
Okay, let us come to Kolkata now. Kolkata has been a stronghold of the TMC, we all know that. But this time around, the RJ Kaur victim's mother, has been given a ticket. And what do you see in terms of her prospects? Because her coming to fight this election...
I will not say anything for that because the victim of RJ Kaur, the girl, the doctor, it is a thing that it happened here. And we were all on the street for that. It is not of any party or any politics. It happened. But why BJP? The case is already with CBI. Yesterday, Mr. Modi said that we will bring out all the files. Every file is with you, with the CBI. So why not if anything is hidden, why not the CBI is bringing that before the court? Why not that the culprit has been hanged? You have taken away this case from the state administration because of the court order. But the file is with the CBI, the file is with the central agencies. So what more Modi can bring out more? What more? If the CBI is inactive, what more? He will call this any investigation agency from America?
No, but you are blaming the CBI, you're blaming the central government, but they are turning it back on you. In fact, what the Prime Minister specifically said is that the mother helped the daughter to become a doctor. The daughter was taken away from her by the TMC, and that's why we have made this mother a candidate. So therefore, he's blaming you directly.
No, the TMC is not involved there. It is a hooligan, that type of man, a single man who is involved in this. And that is very unfortunate. We all condemned that.
But it is a government college. There was an allegation of a cover-up.
Everything is not in the hand of government. Anyone is victim here. Everywhere there cannot be police posting in every college, in every classroom. That is not possible. The same thing happens there also in the double engine states.
Of course, and you also raise those issues. When Hathras happens, you also raise those issues. So similarly, this is also being politicized.
No, that is yes. But we have not made Hathras victim's mother our candidate there. So it is unfortunate thing, and we are all painful for that. But this is much above politics. The family used to get the sympathy of whole of Bengal. And still we are with that girl, that yes, she was brutally murdered and tortured, and the justice should be done. But justice who will done? The case is handed over to CBI with the court order. So why not CBI is taking out all the files? What more file can be after the election? Only if her mother is not BJP candidate, the Prime Minister, it is not the duty of Prime Minister to say CBI to bring out all the files. So still now, why the CBI is not bringing out all the files? Why they are hiding the files? When the Prime Minister will say, then only we can build the files.
Let's come to another issue, which is, of course, the remark of Kolkata being a city of slums that has been made. Are you going to counter on this issue?
Yes, they don't know.
Is this questions on TMC's governance?
That is not. Yes. We don't hide the slums because we are developing the slums. The poor people are the pride of Calcutta. When Bill Gates comes, you hide the slum in Ahmedabad. We don't hide. Yes, we are developing the slums with the Banglar Badi. It is here nearby. 5 minutes from here, you can shoot that also. We are developing the slum with all the flats there, so the slum dwellers stays in the flat and have a good life. Yes, it is. We have poor people here. We have here Thika tenants. We have not handed over everything to the promoters or the developers. So we are there, and the poor people of Kolkata will stay here with equal right of the rich people.
Right. What would you say, sir, this time about the Muslim votes in West Bengal? We've seen attempts by MIM, ISF, etc., even Humayun Kabir. Their alliances, of course, have collapsed. Ultimately, there was some sting operation, etc., that was done. But has this ensured that the Muslim vote will firmly stay with the TMC?
I think that all the Bengali votes, all the secular votes will definitely stay with TMC. Because it is not a question of Hindu and Muslim. The people of Bengal have different culture. We have read Rabindranath, we have read Sarat Chandra, we have read Kaji Nazrul Islam. So we have a different culture, different thoughts. And we believe in religion, what was made by our Thakur Sri Ramakrishna. So there is no scope of any communal forces there. We believe in secularism and we are secular. So the people of Bengal will always vote for a secular party.
Are you saying there will be no politics of polarization succeeding in Bengal in this time?
No, it can't. If you are a true disciple of Thakur Sri Sri Ramakrishna Dev of the Dakhineshwar, you cannot be polarized. You cannot say that, yes, Hindu and Muslim, any hatred, any division, you cannot accept that. Because Thakur himself taken the Islam, practiced Islam, then went to the church, adopted this Christianism and practiced that, and then came back to this Makali, means our Makali Mandir in Dakhineshwar, and said, Joto Moth, Toto Poth. And whatever your ideology is, the way is the same path to the God. So this is the thing. The most secular person in earth is Sri Sri Thakur Ramakrishna. And being a Muslim also, I also follow him.
One of the issues that youth in Kolkata and in, of course, entire West Bengal are very concerned about is the levels of unemployment and also the lack of growth of industry. Do you think that that is going to be?
No, I don't think that there is the industrialization. Because of the stepmotherly attitude of the central government, yes, we are suffering. But what about the promise of Narendra Modi ji? If he could have provided 2 crores for employment every year, then in the total India, in the last 15 years, the 30 crore employment would be created. So there could be no unemployment, not only in Bengal, throughout India there could have no unemployment. So it is his failure. Of course, we have reduced the unemployment level by 40% by different schemes. We are number 1 in MSME. MSME in India, we are number 1. So we are creating that. So the unemployment rate ratio is down in Bengal compared to national average.
But 15 years is a long time.
No, we have done that.
I'm talking about getting big industries, which are the big
Now, big industry, nowadays, you don't have big industries or you don't have that scope. You don't have that scope. Because how many big industry came to Gujarat in last 5 years? None.
They have set up, they've announced silicon plants, they've announced a
They
lot
have,
of...
because of the behest of central government, silicon plant. We have also silicon cities here. And it is developing. The IT sector is developing here. And unfortunately, in Gujarat also, the technical people are being taken from here only, in the whole of the south. Here also we are developing that. Yes, for last 34 years there was no thinking of this thing. They were against the computerization and all these things. It took us some time, but we are now on the move.
All right. Firhad Hakim, thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking to us.
Thank you. Thank you.